When it comes to pure power production and technical efficiency, no one did it better than Asafa Powell, and that's something that you're looking to be able to develop. This video is going to be a great video to help you understand how to run faster. We're going to go in depth into two main things. One, how to get more explosiveness out of the block start. Asafa Powell was known for actually breaking blocks because of how explosive he was as he was getting out. And so we'll get a little bit into that, as well as just a good little secret to be able to understand when it comes to your top speed and what you should be doing with the knee and why this is a critical part of your concentration when sprinting to make it so you can not only run faster, but run faster for a longer period of time. We're going to go and hop right into it here. So we have Asafa Powell. He's really known for really opening up the world to Jamaica and the sprinting powerhouse it can become. He had multiple world record times, and it was really big during like the early 2000s. This ends up being a world record run here. Almost kind of jogged it to at the end, ran 9.7. But what we're going to see here is as he's pushing out, I mean, first you can see how much more distance he covers, first three steps. And this is a little bit more of a novice. This is before track was as big here, so it looks like it was not a huge event. But we could see the first action. What he does is he does a great job of bending into that front knee. I see so many people that just struggle with being able to get out of the blocks well because they don't drop that back or that front knee enough. You got to be able to drop that front knee to then be able to get the push forward necessary. What we also want to see is that back leg and just the angle of the back leg. So we could see here where he's at with it. And I just think it's important to see the knee stays or the heel but stays kind of below the knee or like even with the knee. Even in this position, it's still kind of downwards. Or we can see here, we're getting a lot more of like a steep heel to hip position. Okay, so we want to be aware of just how high we're getting this heel back behind. The more we could be pushing that back foot straight forward, and we'll even see some people kind of drag that back foot because of how low that heel ends up being. And that really allows you to get much more distance as you're coming out. And this is one of those things where it's like you could put a ton of weight work in the weight room. You could try to get stronger. You could do, the heaviest squats, the greatest deadlifts. You could watch so many Instagram videos, but if you don't execute with the technical efficiency and really understanding how to get more effectively linear, because that's what he does really well, is he's just getting out with each one of these steps. You could even see within his feet, like look at how he pushes off. He pushes straight off with that foot, where you can see here, this is one of the many things that we'll see that just athletes that are more novices struggle with. Like that foot is coming a lot more inward. So now he has to control that foot going across. He's not pushing forward as much with the body weight. And then as he comes through, and this isn't a bad sprinter. I'm assuming he probably ran in the 10-second range, but it's a big difference between this type of runner and somebody that's very technically sound, like Asafa Powell, right? So if you want to watch a video about how to be more technically sound, how to be more technically efficient, how to maximize your sprinting, or work with a coach that's going to put a big focus on that part of your sprinting capabilities, then that's really what I look a lot into is how can we be more effective and efficient and where are we losing the force, and then get the drills, get the exercises, and really prioritize that. Not really big on, oh yeah, let's put a ton more weight on the bar because you need to squat more. A lot of people have the power, have the strength, they're just not executing or utilize their body efficiently to be able to get the necessary reaction or get the result they're looking for because they don't understand how to properly utilize that strength that they have. Now, the main part of why I wanted to make this video is because this is something that I've seen a lot of people benefit from in the training that I'll be able to do with them. And it's just such a great leg cycle, right? When you watch Asafa Powell, it's just so beautiful and so many of the things that he does. And what we're seeing here is the knee, and we'll go one frame ahead. You could see this frame, we got the foot, we got the knee. He's already kind of bent. He's already kind of gone through that transition process. But just one frame away, we could see the knee didn't move very much, right? It was here, now it's here. But the foot had a lot more movement. So what's happening is we're getting a lot of action upwards out of the heel. That's going to be both the gastrocnemius, where we're just going to call it gastroc, as well as the soleus. The gastroc is a little bit more of like the explosive calf, But the soleus is actually the stronger calf. And this one acts when the knee is bent, where the gastroc is a little bit more active with the knee extended. And it actually participates in knee flexion as well as plantar flexion. Plantar flexion is when you're pushing off with that foot. And so you want to be able to utilize really both calves. And I think that's what he does really well and what a lot of these top sprinters do. And that's why you see that very high calf muscle. When you see those sprinters, their calf is high up on their shin or on their lower leg. And that's because they have such an early push off as that foot striking the ground. So, what you want to understand is really two things as that foot striking the ground. And I mean, obviously, there's a ton that can go into being able to maximize that the front side mechanics. But if you are striking the ground and don't already have a plan for how we're going to push off the ground, then you're going to be late, right? If you're starting to think of pushing off the ground before, or sorry, after your foot strikes the ground or while your foot striking the ground, you're going to have your foot come back behind. You should be understanding or prioritizing how you're going to push off as the foot striking the ground to make it so then you could effectively transition off of the ground and get the weight to be able to properly shift in your foot to be able to toe off. Okay. And so what we want to be able to see is, and this is the primary part of the video. This is a very important concept to be able to understand. This is how you're going to be able to run faster for longer. Is when we get into this position, as we're going to push off, what you want to be able to have happen is you want your knee to already start to be tracking forward before this foot is coming off, or you're pushing your foot forward. Because what that does is this makes it so then we don't get lost with the foot back behind. What we'll see so many novice sprinters or non technically sound sprinters do or runners do is they'll get lost with the foot coming up here as it's coming off. And that's just precious seconds. You can see how quick he is to, as that foot comes off the ground, immediately that knee is already driving through. And that's because he's already trying to get that to come forward before the foot's coming out the ground and make it so then that transition can be very quick and very explosive as the foot comes out. And now he has plenty of time to get the knee up and the foot in front to then control foot strike, right? But if you don't have that push off, then what happens is now the foot gets too high here. We don't have control of the leg cycle as it's coming underneath. So then we don't get as much reach with the foot coming forward, which then makes it so now we can't generate the same type of force into the ground. And this all starts, by the way, in the block start. How technically sound are we in the block start to get ourselves in a position to now be able to execute this as we are at top speed? So, very, very, I think, understanding, right? I wanted to be able to make it kind of simple, straightforward, I guess could be the better way to put that. Very straightforward way of being able to improve your sprinting mechanics in a way that hopefully could be very easy for you to execute. Not going to be a thing that you're going to be able to make a habit right away, but if you work on it, you focus on it, you should be able to make some big changes within your mechanics and be able to run a lot faster times. I will say one of the things that I'll see as well to kind of finish off is let's be very efficient with our upper body. Let's not waste time with our hands going too much side to side and not limit our action through our arms. He does a great job, especially getting into that extension within that upper body. You need more extension. You got to get your hands way behind your hips as you're getting into your top speed. If you're not getting your hands far enough behind your hips, you're just not going to be able to run fast. So, as always, if you like the information, click that thumbs up down below, subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions, comments, or recommendations, you can leave those down below. And check out some of the things we have when it comes to coaching. We have all that down below in the description. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you soon.